I'm quite sure quite a lot of our regular viewers are wondering about the hyena den. Unfortunately, it is not active at the moment. Someone has already checked this morning. No update there. So at the moment, we're just going to drive around very slowly, see if we can find tracks. And we've got a pile of buffalo to start off with. This is a group of buffalo bulls. Actually, hang on, is that a cow at the back there? Can't be. Let's reverse a second. Quite strange, but not completely unusual to find a single cow. It's a young boy. In these bachelor groups. There's quite a nice, impressive buffalo standing up, the one on the closest to us. You can see that very distinct boss. Oh, look at the flies. Oh, and you have the oxpeckers waking up and coming to look for the buffalo. Like, can you hear them all chirping? Oh, and there we go. One landed. I'm having a snooze. There we go. Breakfast for the oxpeckers. So these bachelor groups, sometimes you do have younger bulls in them, but they're generally comprised of older bulls that are past prime that move away from the breeding herds, where there's a lot of commotion and noise and they move a lot. So they generally move into thicker areas around drainage lines and dams and water sources, where they can become quite sedimentary and they don't move very far. It's sort of a retirement for buffalo bulls. And the reason they are sometimes in small groups is a safety thing for them. It's much easier for them to chase off a lion as a group of bulls than as a single buffalo. For those of you wondering about the weather this morning, it's about 18 degrees Celsius, which I think, according to Andrew, was 60 odd degrees Fahrenheit. So for us out here, that's quite cold. I know for most of our viewers, that'll be a nice, pleasant, warm day. But as we're used to the heat, it is a bit chilly this morning. You can see we've got quite an overcast sky, but it does look like it might break up as the day goes on. I can see a little bit of blue sky coming through the clouds. And we're gonna tootle on. Let the old gentleman wake up sedately. They generally won't move too far in the areas they choose to stay in. Actually, they might be a little jostling and stay for a little bit longer. The areas they choose generally have water and decent graze close by, and because they're not in a big herd, they don't completely finish the graze quickly, so they don't have to move too far. Oh, this guy's got a little wound. A little wound on the right of his eye. Amazing, those flies. Almost makes it look like the horn is alive. You know, I get irritated by a few flies. Imagine how these poor guys must feel, that amount of flies. And they do bite, especially the ears of the buffalo. These are red-balled oxpeckers. So you see, that's quite interesting. Now, those two to the right are juveniles. You see, they haven't got their color. And they're actually, that noise we heard there is them begging. So even though that they are completely mobile and fly around with the adults. Now, they will still beg from the adults. And he goes going right inside the ear to get those ticks. Although the oxpeckers do perform quite a valuable role to a lot of animals, when animals do have a wound, they can actually be quite a pain, because not only do they eat ticks, but they will open up wounds and feed off a little bit of meat. Here's a juvenile red-billed oxpecker. Buffalo always looks at you like you owe him money, down his nose. You can see how they're on the neck in the old animal, that the skin's coming off, and then you have a look closely at the ear, you can actually see little groups of ticks. He's actually got quite a lot of ticks in his ear. Sorry, Vam. So he's putting his horns into the mud. It's quite nice behavior there. So what he's doing is he's putting horns on his face, or mud on his face and on his horns. So if he gets an argument with another male Inyala, he looks more impressive. You'll see quite a few different species do that. Inyala aren't the only ones. Wildebeest do it from time to time. Bushbuck. We've even seen kudu do it. They are wonderfully pretty with their orange socks. Oh, oxpecker in tow as well. Got quickly shooed off. So this is the Twin Dams area where we've been having incredible cat sightings for the last while. So always worth having a check for tracks around here. Whoopsie, sorry. You just spit on the drainage. Oh, well, looked almost like a shield bug or a stink bug. Couldn't be the most pleasant thing to eat. Sorry, Trent, I'll get to your question in a second. Just want to see what this hornbill's up to. Let's try and move forward maybe a tiny bit. No, he's going to fly even before. Anyway, it looked like it could be a stink bug, or possibly it could have even been a katydid, a type of grasshopper. I'd like to know whether lions target bachelor groups of buffalo or breeding herds more. Trent, I think it just completely depends on time and place. If they find a bachelor group and they're hungry enough and there's enough of them, they will definitely target a bachelor group. But when it comes to trailing, they generally tend to trail breeding herds. Sorry, 1 second, I'm listening to... But they have been known to follow big herds of buffalo with the breeding herds. There's more to be a strangler or one that's slightly injured or not well. And also the fact that there are youngsters, calves and sub-adults in there, which are a bit easier to catch than a big grumpy buffalo bull. But it completely depends on how hungry they are and what's in front of them. Leopard will update you shortly. Looks like it will get darker. Let's see which is going to be the best spot to get a view of there. Looks like she's nesting. Now it looks like she's a male darker. We'll just stop here quickly just to have a quick look and assess, and then we'll move around so we can see her face. And it looks like she's very comfortable. Oops, it's Karula. So it is Karula. And then just off to the right of her, there's the remains of the darker. She looks very, very comfortable. We're just going to move around next to Orby where we can see her face. And maybe just stand by her for a little bit and try to decide. I don't think she looks far too comfortable. I think we'll have to reposition. You can see she's got a nice big fat belly. Doesn't look like there's too much left of the darker. Move it, Andy. I'm going to take it. Andrew, do you copy? He's been talking on the wrong radio. I confirm we copy you now. Copy, thanks. So it looks like she has very little of the darker kill left. And she's eaten most of it. And when was the last time we saw Karula? Oh, it was that night when she got chased by the hyenas. Was that 2 nights ago? 3 nights ago, maybe. She's actually not very far from the area where I last saw her.
Did your bino rinse?
Sorry?
Do you have your binos?
No, they are actually in joke. I used this.
I have been taken out the car for some reason.
It's also nice and cool, so her breathing's not laboured. So if it was very hot now, even if she was lying in the tree, you would notice she'd be panting quite heavily, because digesting takes energy.
So guys, take the picture as you can.
So, can you get a shot of the duiker's head there, Fiona? I can't really see it there, but it is a male duiker. I can see the horns from where I am, but I'm a bit lower than VM. Doesn't look like there's too much left, but there is enough left that she's probably not going to move for the rest of the day. Maybe she might head off to Treehouse Dam for a drink, and that would be about it. Oh, she actually opened her eyes. And the hyena might have moved behind us. That would have caused her to lift her head. I can't see, unfortunately, but as you can see, she's not very perturbed.
Yeah, cricket commentator. Leisurely day.
The hyena has stood up and is moving. That is why she lifted her head and looked. I can just see the hyena now. Possible. I can't see it. It's coming this way. It's gone behind. No, not coming this way yet. Remember, guys, if you have any questions for us, send them into questions@wildearth.tv or just use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter.
How's the light of your still camera?
It's good.
A clear shot.
Yep. Just got to play with the settings, but
What sort of time exposure?
Good morning, Ruthie from Michigan. Welcome on Drive With Us this morning. Ruthie would like to know, do we know if Karula is pregnant? Ruthie, at the moment it's a little bit difficult to tell, especially since she's got such a full belly. But it is possible, but I'm not going to stake my reputation on it just yet. We'll have to. It is possible, but I'm not going to stake my reputation on it just yet. We'll have to wait a little bit longer to see if she is pregnant.
those two weavers rest the road. Okay, just giving you 3 minutes, I'll be out for you.
Looks like she's chosen a really comfortable tree.
Alright guys,
Go Craig. Obi's busy making his way out of the sighting. Before, Craig's looking for you. Hey, opfit. Ja, van baan. Enjoy the rest of your drive, guys. It would be. Wasn't me, I wasn't. It was a while ago. Standing by. The sighting's on the road that's between Leopard Road and Elephant Skull. Probably about 150 meters east from Weaver's Nest, Elephant Skull Junction, and then probably 150 meters into the block almost directly to the east.
Oh, no.
Morning.
Hello. Now we open the eyes.
Yeah. Now he does.
I'll let you know when I get your audio.
Excited that I can play it. For antelope.
So as you can see, there's a male duiker that she killed, but she looks like she's eaten the vast majority of it.
It looks so comfortable, this tree. I also want to ride it.
Ryan, I think he's just driven past us. Aubrey's coming out of the block right now, so you'll see where he comes out. It's amazing how still these animals can be when they've got a full belly and a comfortable branch to lie on. There's almost zero movement. Standing by, Alex.
Leopard, I think it's eggs left, huh?
Yeah, in the head.
They don't eat it?
They will eat it.
It's about 150 meters east into the block from Weaver's Nest junction with Elephant Skull.
But even
There's an old two-track nearby that from a previous leopard kill in the area. Best access is on that, but I will drop a branch when I leave.
Now they pluck off,
the fur
not all of it, yeah. Pluck it off.
and the antelope and the kudu, they have also this,
No, only.
Copy, thanks very much, Lex.
they don't eat it.
Yeah, that one, the one.
¿Lo isla? No, they use.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, look. Oh, there's nothing.
There is nothing, just waste.
No, it's not there. Wow, look at his eyes, he's looking at us.
Good morning, Katrina from Washington State. Welcome on Drive with us this morning. Katrina would like to know, when leopards are mating, do they share kills? They can do, Katrina. It isn't that common. Generally, when they're mating, they mate. But if they do make a kill, they will sometimes share it. But generally, the male will take the lion's share, and the female will eat a lot less. And male leopards will often steal kills from females.
A lot of time, plum trees. See where she always plumb right up there. So you can see the trees, the bark has been off.
Yeah.
That's where she go down and up, down and up.
This is a hard one. How she took the antelope up to the tree,
Bite it from the mouth and plumb up.
Changing position.
but how big it was big.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to move slightly so we can have a good look at the kill. I know some
The small one.
people have been asking to get a view of the kill, so I'm just going to move. There's very little, from what I can see, of the carcass left. And just look at how big her belly is. There might still be a little bit
But,
that I can't really see just from where it's lying. But I don't think it's going to be based here for a day or two. I think probably this evening she'll move on again.
They fed only about the food, not the steak. He won't touch that. Yeah?
yeah.
The leopard looks much stronger than the elephant.
Jackson, coming.
A lot.
Oh, what's your position for?
The teeth.
Okay, keep coming. I'll make space for you. I'll come back here later. So guys, there's quite a lot of vehicles who would like to come see Karula this morning. So what we're going to do is we're going to move out, and we will let the other cars come in, and then we'll come back here later in the drive once there's not as many people around. So great start to the morning. That's affirmative.